Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling is Wrestling video podcast here on YouTube.com. When I say video podcast, I mean audio podcast because reasons. Anywho,
you want to find out? Just watch the previous episode.
Just watch the update video where you can see my house is not really a house right now. Anywho, this is your host Stephen Rafferty, and I am with my co-host for today, Hamza and Siley.
Yo,
welcome. So this is a open topic audio episode. So basically, we're gonna just talk about wrestling and talk about what's going on in the wrestling world today. Before we go into that, I just want to mention that as of right now, we're technically finishing up season 2. We're going to have this episode, another audio episode in March, and one more in April. Then after that, we're going to have team meetings and just discuss what's going to happen for potential season 3. So that's what's going on for now. We'll keep you updated as soon as possible with everything that's going on. Until then, follow us on Twitter at WIWpodcastHD, on Facebook at WIWWrestling is Wrestling Podcast, and buy our t-shirts at refnationstore.com. They're nice and lovely, and they're representing us, so do it. So with that, what do you guys want to talk about wrestling-wise?
What do you think about the Raw calling CM Punk after Raw was over? Did you see that?
Oh, you didn't see this? Perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
So this is what happens when you get bombarded with schoolwork and work. What happened?
You try to keep up with something else. But so basically, Raw was over, and the Raw comes out. Was he on Raw before? He was on Raw.
He was on Raw during the pre-show time. This was not filmed. People were recording.
This was pre-show or after?
Wait, this was this past month?
This is Monday.
This was past Monday.
Where was I? I was watching the show.
This didn't happen during the show.
It happened during the show. It happened off air.
It scared me. I was watching and The Rock was not there. Okay, continue with the story.
He came out before the show started and after the show started. The reason why he came before was because he's doing a biopic movie on Paige and her life.
Oh yeah.
So they're filming some of the scenes during the show or after the show. So he came out before to tell the fans what's going on. He's gonna be part of this scene. Yada yada yada. After the show was over, they did recordings for scenes. They did a scene with Paige and AJ Lee when Paige debuted 3 years ago to win the Divas Championship.
Oh, nice.
So they did the scene, everything was fine. After Rock comes out, he's talking to the crowd, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to call CM Punk. So he just called CM Punk on the phone. And he didn't answer, unfortunately. But CM Punk actually went on Twitter, and he said the reason why he didn't answer was that he didn't have his phone on him because he was walking his dog.
Oh, man.
But he sent a tweet saying, I miss you, California. Hope everything's good.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was nice.
Yeah, you got the voicemail.
You got the voicemail, and then this video was online.
And imagine if he actually answered. That would have been nice.
How awkward would that have been? But I wonder if The Rock had picked up and he said, "Oh, we're in front of the fans or whatever," at the WWE taping. If he had just been like, end conversation.
We'll never know.
We'll never know how he would have reacted. But yeah.
And it was all off the cuff.
So is this movie that new movie Paige is doing?
Yeah.
This is not what WWE Studios, right?
This is with Rock's production.
Yeah,
I'm actually glad it's not with WWE Studios because WWE Studios just no.
It's a documentary.
It's a biopic.
Yeah.
So it's an actress playing Paige, and they're going through her life, from beginnings.
Oh wait. So they actually cast an actress to play Paige.
Yeah.
Their family member.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't Paige play the actual role of her? Because it's not like Paige is doing anything significant right now.
Well, biopics you're not supposed to play yourself. You're supposed to be an actor playing the character. Plus, too, she's dealing with a neck injury, and she has been on television for over a year now, and she's dealing with, I think, with Alberto Del Rio, they got married or whatever, so she's doing her own life right now.
They actually
got married?
I think so, yeah.
Get out of here.
I know they proposed. I know she proposed to him, because it was online, but I think they got married, or they're going to get married.
Oh, wasn't Del Rio married before?
I'm not getting into personal life. I'm just telling you what's going on.
Yeah. I thought it was a documentary because, I've seen clips of her family wrestling.
Right, and they did a documentary on her family in the UK.
Yeah.
But this is a biopic, and a biopic is actors playing characters. Like AJ Lee, like there's videos online. You can see AJ Lee's played by another, like an actual wrestler, but it's not AJ Lee, obviously.
Yeah.
Paige is an actress, and then they have a stunt double to be paid to do all the wrestling stuff.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, they did this. Not WWE, but I know TNA did this with Sting. They did a biopic on Sting's life, and they had people play as Sting.
Yeah.
You know, doing the roles or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you guys think about the current road to WrestleMania?
It's a road.
I'm sad, guys.
Yeah, it's
You're sad.
Yeah, you know I'm sad.
That we're not going.
No, well, that's one.
Yeah,
Blame the house.
Turnpike
But
North is a road.
I'm so sad that Naomi got injured.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
No, we're good. Sorry, I just looked at my clip.
Here, right?
Like literally, my clip just like ended for a second. I was like, "Oh no, did we just lose broadcast?" No, we're good.
No,
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that she got injured and she was on her way to bring the title back to Orlando, where she's originally from.
Yeah.
I was so proud because her rise, well, her journey has been, you know, ups and downs and tough, and she's tried to change her character a couple times, and finally she has like this thing, right? Like Feel the Glow, or, you know, which is a really cool way to go out. Like with the what's this thing called?
Neon.
Yeah, with the neon lights and all the colors
and everything.
I think of rave, like a raver type
Yeah.
Like
character.
a raver type character. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just sucks that she got injured.
And
That was disappointing.
she has that mentality too, man. The raver type mentality and everything.
Yeah, I think it was their best, like, I guess, character gimmick wise.
And I didn't even like when she was paired with Carmen. I don't think she's even. Is she still in NXT or?
No,
she
was.
Wait,
You mean-
Carmen?
Carmen.
Who's
No.
Carmen?
Who's
Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen. Who's Carmen?
Who's
No,
Carmen?
no.
Carmen Sandiego. Where's she? Where
No,
is
not
she?
Carmen. Not Carmen.
Carmen.
What was her partner's name?
Naomi?
Naomi's partner.
No,
What's her partner's name?
Cameron.
Cameron. There we go.
Ah.
Carmen. That's a botch on my end. Okay.
Carmen.
That's a botch. Carmen. So what we okay?
Why do you
So
guys come up with random women's names?
no,
There was an episode.
we had.
Guys, go back. There was an episode that the three of us did where he called out a person named Linda. I mean, we're like, who's Linda?
Oh,
We were
that's
talking about Tough Enough Season 1, the first ever Tough Enough season. I confused Nydia with Linda, okay?
Who's Linda?
Yeah, and who's Linda?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. Linda
saw-
McMahon, who's running for Senate, apparently.
We'll find Linda with Carmen.
Carmen.
Wait, actually, funny you mentioned Tough Enough. I have sad news. Most of the people that are in the current Tough Enough are all released.
Are all
Wait,
released.
so
They're all
so
got
Sarah Lee
fired.
is gone?
Sarah Lee, she got pregnant, and then
By who?
one of
one of the wrestlers, I think
Oh,
Blake
okay.
from Blake and Murphy from NXT.
Oh, Blake.
Don't quote me, but
No, I
yeah.
don't think. No, I don't.
But yeah, she got pregnant with one of the wrestlers, and then they fired her,
Uh-huh.
so she's gone. ZZ was the first one gone.
See,
Yeah.
well, I mean, we all had
Yeah.
high hopes. We all had high hopes for ZZ, but it just did not.
I mean, did we though?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I made
Yeah.
a peanut butter.
He was a
jelly
crossfire
sandwich.
with Sarah Lee Bread, right?
Right.
There's
Sarah Lee.
actually Sarah Lee Bread out there in case you didn't know.
It's a-
And Raph did call it in the first episode of season 1.
I wish she stayed a little longer so they got the promotional deal. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. But there is Sarah Lee Bread out there, so just go get it.
No, it's just.
What happened to Chewbacca? What was his name?
Josh.
He's okay.
Oh.
He actually still is under a contract, but he hasn't been used in anything yet. The most prominent person so far was Mandy. She actually competed in NXT.
But she actually looks like a diva, though.
Is she still there?
Yeah, she's still there. Like she's
Oh, okay.
still has a contract,
Okay,
and
good for her.
she's actually been on NXT in a few matches.
Okay.
Motto also got signed, but then got quickly fired.
Mhm.
That's not
And the rest didn't get signed. So yeah.
It's
Tough enough.
It's a hard business, man. You can't.
It's a hard business.
Yeah, well, yeah, I thought you were going to have a song.
I was gonna-
I know
Yeah.
exactly.
But
what you're gonna do.
then I realized I can't sing it for copyright purposes.
Oh, that's right. We can't sing. We can't sing.
Copyright purposes.
Purposes. That's not.
Yeah.
I hope that's not a song.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
That's not
yeah.
copyright purposes is not a song.
It's not a song.
If it
Hopefully
is,
not.
I copyright it.
All right.
You're copyrighted, by the way.
Purposes.
That actually has a nice ring to it if you think
It
about it.
does.
It does.
If one of you says something,
Copyright purposes.
yeah, I'm gonna quickly say, don't say it. Why? Because copyright purposes.
Yes, we come up with something new. I see. I knew we were going to.
We have a new joke today.
We have a new joke tonight. Copyright purposes. That's a new joke on the end.
Please don't sue us.
Don't not sue us, even if that's a song. We have copyright purposes. on
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else?
What's up?
I was watching Talking Smack? Yeah. I was
Yeah.
watching Talking Smack.
Is it Talking Smack or Smack Talking?
No, Talking
Talking
Smack.
Smack. Okay.
Smack Talking.
Smack Talking.
Smack. That's your
That actually, I like that name.
I like Smack better though.
I like Smack Talking. They should just do promos the entire time. They should get
Yeah.
Enzo and just make him do promos for an
Yeah.
hour.
By the way,
Smack
yeah,
Talking.
here you go.
Oh, okay. Well, AJ Styles was on this week,
Yeah.
and he was talking to Daniel Bryan. I think he was like basically saying that Daniel Bryan, he doesn't like the decisions that Daniel Bryan has been making, and that he wish Shane McMahon was there. And I was like, that's great. But what I think AJ Styles should consider is putting his hair back in a ponytail, because that's what he did during the interview. And I was like, okay, sir, that's a cool look compared to his straight.
By the way,
iron.
speaking of Talking Smack, I think Talking Smack has been great.
I love Talking.
I love Talking Smack, and I think it's giving SmackDown a much more higher emphasis onto the show. And you gotta watch it because it's only on the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
Okay.
Yeah,
And by the way, if you saw Miz go off on Daniel Bryan,
that was
the best
No, that
thing.
was the best.
I think you can tell best moments in wrestling are when you can't tell if they're kayfabe or if they're real life, and that was on the borderline
That's
between
good, yeah.
kayfabe
Well,
and
that
real life.
usually
Okay.
that
And
usually
Miz
happens
has
with
been,
Daniel
I don't know if it's more Maurice who adds the extra element to him.
Yeah.
Probably that's what it is. It adds an extra element to him.
Well, the Miz himself is just
Yeah, I think this has been his best work. People say when he won the title. I think when he won the title back in 2011, 2010, around that years, he wasn't even ready for it, to be honest with you. This stuff right now he did with the IC title and with Maurice coming back, it's some of his best stuff. Just watch that Talking Smack
Yeah,
promo.
no, he did great.
Yeah,
But
He's awesome.
he's awesome.
He is. He really is.
He is awesome.
I mean, obviously he annoys me, but that's the
Yeah,
character.
but
He's
he
so
is
good at it.
he is the best
No,
heel.
he's good at it. Yeah, he really is. He's
the best
very
heel.
good at it,
Very good at it.
and he's very consistent, but in like a consistently getting better way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's consistently getting better. you know?
Consistently getting better.
And he's still the most successful Tough Enough contestant since we made a seg from Tough Enough. We still come back to
Yes,
Tough Enough.
he was. He's the only
And
one that
he
won.
did not
that won
even
the
win
champ.
it.
He's the only one that's
He didn't even
won.
win it.
He didn't even win it. Who won that
No.
year?
Ooh.
Pruder, right? No, Pruder.
Was it Pruder?
That wasn't Pruder.
Who's Pruder?
Pruder. Daniel
Daniel
Pruder.
Pruder.
He almost broke Kurt Angle's arm if you didn't want to look at it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel.
Because what happened was they came on SmackDown on Tough Enough Contestants, and Pruder was actually a UFC fighter. So they had a segment where they were actually going to wrestle Kurt Angle. Okay, and it was actually scripted for Kurt Angle to win, obviously, because he didn't want any Kurt Angle tapping out a bunch of Tough Enough contestants.
Right.
So Pruder actually locks him in the Kimura lock, but he actually locked it in, and Kurt Angle was on the verge of breaking his arm if somebody comes split it up.
That's why he got fired.
But
He can't
yeah.
be breaking Kurt Angle's arm. He's been through enough.
Yeah.
He won an Olympic gold medal
With a broken neck.
with a broken freaking neck.
The broken freaking
He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame with a broken freaking
Who's
neck.
inducting him, by the way?
What?
Who's inducting him?
Well, yeah, who do you think's gonna induct him?
He said he wants Stone Cold.
I think-
That's what he said?
I've heard Austin, which sure. I don't know. I'm just happy for him to be there. To be
Yeah.
honest, like
Whoa.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Pure legitimate.
Actually, all the Hall of Famers so far: Kurt Angle, Rock and Roll Express, which I wasn't expecting that. Holla Holla, Teddy Long. We better have a tag team match.
Holla holla.
We better have one.
We better have one.
We better have
And
No, 2 tag team matches.
2 tag team.
7 tag
No,
team
no.
matches.
Because it's a
25 tag team matches.
That's right.
Oh,
The whole arena is a tag team match.
20,000 tag team matches.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Just pair everybody with their seat number.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you have a tag team
It's
match. Tag team match.
Right
Yeah.
there.
So where? Okay. This is gonna be Amway Arena, I assume, because that's where they're gonna do the Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Okay. And so just put everybody in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's.
Yay.
tag team match.
Yes.
Tag team match.
And then Monday was DDP, which I was so happy about. I was very
that
proud.
One, that one was a good one.
That was
That one.
Diamond Dallas Page.
He deserved
Diamond,
it.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, Diamond
He
Dallas Page.
absolutely.
Everybody does yoga at the ceremony.
I do yoga.
DDP yoga.
That's great.
DDP yoga. What the? I wish you guys could see what was happening right now.
Yeah.
I know.
What are you doing?
I could put this around my. I could put my leg around my neck. I could do it. I mean, I'm wearing jeans right now, but I could do it.
You could?
Yeah, I'm really flexible.
Oh dear. You know, I'm just waiting for your
Don't hurt
jeans to
yourself.
rip.
Don't hurt
I know.
yourself.
I actually ripped my jeans last week, so I just a new pair.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
I'm trying not to, but yeah, I've done his yoga and it's excellent.
Mhm.
So
I think Chris Jericho does his yoga as well.
yeah,
He mentions on his podcast as well that he does his yoga, and that's what's keeping him going for so long.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Chris Jericho, we go back to his "You're on the List" segment. I think that's one of the best things he ever done. Ever since he had the
You mean the whole you're on the list thing? Like
Yeah.
from the beginning to the Oh no,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's the best thing he's ever done.
and
Yeah.
now you can buy the list on.
Can you really?
Yeah,
you can buy the list. You just
Is
make
it
a list.
a list or like a clipboard that says the list on it?
It's a clipboard that says the list
The
is
list,
for
and it will
like
sell,
$30.
too. And it will-
It's oh yeah, it's
selling.
buying it.
Yeah.
Ah, You
The
know?
fact it makes me happy that Chris Jericho is coming back after so long and he's still doing some good stuff out there. You know.
Yeah.
And he's 40. How old is he? 44, 45,
I don't
45,
know.
45.
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it at all. He
No,
looks
no,
like
no,
he-
no.
yeah.
But his workout regimen was DDP yoga. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much all he was doing, and like basic calisthenics.
Mhm.
So you can be that ripped. You can be Chris Jericho's
Mhm.
ripped. It's just working hard and eating right.
Yeah.
See, we have positive something.
Positive
Messages.
Positive messages.
Even though before this started, Hamza was like, "You guys want a cookie?"
Wish you could have recorded that.
to be fair, it was a really good cookie.
It's a Starbucks cookie. Come on. You can't go wrong with Starbucks cookie, man. Come on.
I mean, I'm not gonna bring my views on Starbucks, but whatever.
Okay.
Why are we gonna do it?
No, we're not.
No, you know why we're not gonna do it?
Because
For copyright
Copy
purposes.
purposes.
That's right.
That's right.
Copyright purposes.
that's gonna get over.
Yeah. It's gonna get over. Make a shirt on that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We have a lot of shirt
We have a
ideas.
nice shirt.
from
We have
that.
his current shirt right now.
We have a current shirt you can buy at raffnationstore.com for $19.99. It's nice and fluffy, and it has our logo, and
Yeah.
we took photos of it. It's
Yeah.
nice, so buy it.
Mhm.
No, like seriously,
No,
buy
yes,
it.
buy it. Buy
Yes,
it.
buy
Yeah,
it
like
right now. Right now. Like,
Now.
oh wait, you bought it yet?
Did you get a notification that they bought it?
Not on this phone.
Not on this phone, right?
I do, not,
You do.
not on my phone.
Yeah. So, but eventually buy it.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
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 Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I'm still.
What do you think of the bland split so far?
The bland split?
The bland split.
The bland
split?
split.
The bland
um,
split. I did that on purpose, not a project.
The
I
bland
know.
split.
The bland split.
I think it's going. Actually, I was thinking about this. When I was watching Raw on Monday, and I was thinking about how, because the brand split, it was something that happened kind of. I'm gonna say over 10 years ago. That was like the thing.
Sure.
Especially when we were growing up. That was.
Ruthless aggression era. That
Yeah,
era,
yeah. But it's not so much because of that. It was just like the idea of the brand split. That's what we grew up on. So that's what we were kind of used to, right? And the fact that they've gone back to that because they have so much great talent. It's not just because they have talent, but because they have so much great talent that they're able to like give a substantial amount of
Time.
Time to a different
Like,
type
just
of
exposure.
There you go. Yeah. The fact that they can give so much exposure to these good talents and split it into two brands, I think it was one of the best decisions that they could have made.
And the fact that NXT is now a third brand, if you think about it. I mean, obviously you want to look at it as a feeder system, but it is a feeder system at the end of the day. But it's still a third brand because they're doing big shows and
Yeah.
big arenas, and I think they're coming down to South Florida as well eventually.
I think they're coming down this weekend. Yeah.
So, to UM's
Tomorrow.
to UM's
Yeah,
campus.
Friday.
Yeah, they were in Orlando this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're coming down to South Florida now. But yeah,
We won't be there.
we won't be there.
No,
We're
but
busy
it's-
with life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think NXT the way from what it started, how it originally started to what it's become now. So they're doing shows in London. They're selling out shows. They're doing takeover events before major pay-per-views.
They're making money.
They're I mean, it's great, man. And the booking is so different too. You can tell that Vince McMahon is not behind there. You can tell that Triple H has his own twist on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a daily watcher of Raw and SmackDown, and then you watch NXT, you'll notice something different about the show.
Yeah.
Sure.
You'll figure it out. You won't know what it is, but there's something different about it. It's not Vince McMahon's blueprint on it. It's Triple H's blueprint.
What I love about NXT and the wrestlers that are coming up from NXT is their entrance music. I love them as wrestlers, but I just love the entrance music and what they've done with it, because what they're doing with the entrance music is that they're giving each person their individual entrance song, and you clearly know exactly who that belongs to. And I don't know if before the recent brand split, I don't know if that was pretty consistent. Like, you knew the songs, but I felt like all of them kind of just like blended together. At one point, they were just kind of like blending together, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting. But now there's like a real distinction, and the songs so much like match the character so well now.
Mhm.
And
I think.
And another thing is that the one thing you have to be careful when the Duke could get called up to the main roster, because you have to understand, I think any single gimmick can work in NXT, and the reason for that is because the crowd is much more closer to it compared to 20,000 people when you debut somebody on Raw. If you debut somebody on Raw, I mean, I think they'll get over, but they won't get over as much as they will in NXT, because and a typical NXT house show, typical NXT taping, you only have 700 fans. So they're gonna get more involved within whatever the gimmick is. compared to 20,000 people. People will get involved, but not 20,000 people won't get involved.
We have to think part of it. It's the public eye. You know,
Yeah.
NXT is a niche audience, and when you go to something like a Raw or SmackDown where it is 20,000 people, a lot of them, it's a broad perspective of people from the hardcore fans to the more casual fans. So you have to have a character that appeals to both the hardcore and also the casual.
Mm-hmm.
Like a great example of this is Bayley.
Yeah.
She appeals to hardcore.
She's got the female, the preteen demographic, and then she's got the hardcore male demographic, which, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's pretty unheard of.
That's kind of hard to do.
That's very hard to do without getting booed out, you know? So,
I mean, I think we all know from being fans and watching wrestling that the wrestling fans are so unforgiving when it comes to something that they do not like. Like, they make it so very clear.
Especially if you're one of those very hardcore cities.
Yeah. And it's what you're saying. There's such a diverse group of people who watch wrestling, and it really does go throughout the entire spectrum. So it starts with like young kids, women, men.
It goes globally too.
Yeah, it goes globally. Different countries, different personalities.
Sure.
So to find characters that mesh well with all of that, it could be very difficult. And I think you guys are right when you guys say that like NXT is doing a good job in kind of connecting everybody to a character that they can really find some type of interest in.
Absolutely. I think from the brand split, the brand split so far, I think it's done more positive than negative. But my only two big things that I wish they could maybe fix up would be, I know it's not going to happen, but I would love to see Raw as a 2-hour show.
I was just about to get to that.
One, because I'm sorry, we're adults, and like that's the first thing. And two,
former wrestlers have even brought this up, and I think Mick Foley even said it one time. Obviously not in kayfabe. Obviously not in kayfabe, but I think he said that it needs to be 2 hours because it just drags, man. I mean, look at NXT. If NXT as a 1 hour show is perfect, their pay-per-views are 2 hours, and that's even more perfect because 2 hours, you're satisfied, that's it.
Yeah.
3 hours is gonna drag on, and you'll be like, okay, now whatever.
No.
I think 2 hours provides a more tighter show. But the thing is, I'm saying that as an adult. If I was a kid, I'm having the time of my life because there's so many shows going on here. But as an adult, it's like, okay, Monday's 3 hours. Tuesday's 2 hours. If you watch the Cruiserweight show, that's another hour. That's 3 hours right there. Wednesday is NXT, so that's an hour. So that's like over 9 hours of content, not including pay-per-views or NXT specials.
It's kind of hard to keep up with that when you're
It's hard to keep up with that. And if you're watching other promotions, you got their own time. So it's just like, I love wrestling, but there's a point where it's like, I need to take it easy. You know? It's a little much.
You gotta keep a balance, you know?
Yeah. You know, life, you know? But that's just my thing. That's my first thing. And then my second thing, actually, I already answered kind of it, was just the amount of shows and specials. Like, I understand as a network and you're like Netflix, you're trying to constantly promote it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you got a Cruiserweight show. You got the UK tournament. There's going to be a women's tournament, which is great. But it's like, it's a lot of content to digest.
Yeah.
It's a lot to watch.
How long has it been since the network debuted? 2 years?
2014.
So it's been. So it's going to be 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
How would you grade the network? I mean, I know you don't watch all those cheesy shows that they have on there.
Well, there's not even that many, like, you can say cheesy shows. There's a lot of really well done.
Like W24 is a great show.
W24 is an excellent show.
Yeah.
The Table for Three is really good.
I think
Monday Night Wars were really good.
The Monday Night Wars was good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good content. There's not really that much cheesy shows, and even the cheesy shows, like, you can watch one episode. It's not the worst in the world, you know. I think it's been really solid, and I think it's really improved throughout the past couple of years. I don't know from a business standpoint what they're doing and how their finances are, because basically you're selling every pay-per-view for $10, and right now I'm on a free trial till after Mania. So I got Rumble free, I got the Chamber free, Fastlane that's coming up, and I got Mania free. Mania, their biggest show. So I don't know how that's going to affect sales. So, you know.
They have over, how many subscribers do they have now? Over 1 million now, right?
I think it's like 1.2 million, something like that.
That's solid.
It's not bad, but I don't know what their growth is. I don't know from a business side how they're necessarily doing in that aspect. We're just fans watching the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
and we get it for 10
hopefully,
so we don't mind.
Hopefully, they can keep moving, because I really do like the network, and premise. My only thing is that maybe they should do WrestleMania as a full $60 show. I know from a fan, it's like
what?
No, hell no.
But I'm just from a business side. It's like the biggest show. It should be a little bit more money. Like I'm getting it for free, which is crazy. I love it, but at the same time, it's like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
But I understand what.
But it's not. They're not just making money off of the pay-per-views, though.
Of course not.
It's everything
merchandise.
Else.
It's merchandise. It's TV rights. It's sponsorships, programming,
ticket
sales.
Ticket
Oh,
sales.
absolutely. I'm not saying
And
that.
I think I can confidently say that they sell out every single show that they do. Might be not SmackDown, but I think Raw is sold out every single night. Or is it? No.
Probably.
Probably,
It looks,
yeah.
or they get close to it.
Yeah,
It, it looks like attendance is good.
I've never seen.
MTC that Raw.
Never.
Never.
Or SmackDown. I've never looked out into when they pan out and they show the crowd. I've never seen like sections of empty seats. So I think it's safe to say that they're doing a good job.
I went to Raw. I only been to Raw once in my entire life so far. In 2007 for New Year's and
AAA.
not first time going to AAA, just first time in Raw. And there was only a brief section in the back where the stage is that was blocked off, but everything else was a full house, packed house. So,
Even the upper levels.
I was in the upper level, so it was packed. I have a funny story about it because I kind of broke into a backstage talk between Carlito and John Morrison.
Talk about that, yeah.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
how did you just casually?
It wasn't casual.
I mistakenly broke in.
Okay, here's what happened.
How does someone mistakenly break into something?
Well, here's what happened. I was in line, and we're going up to the upper levels, and while we're going up, there's a door that's partially open, and it gets more open, and you see Carlito, John Morrison, and I think Melina, that's her name. Yeah, and they were going over their match, and then I was there, and I was just like, hey, and then they had to close the door immediately because they saw, fans listening to what's going on. So, hey,
yeah,
accidentally did that. I was just there. Like, I didn't know they were gonna come out, and that happened. But yeah.
Did you hear what was gonna happen?
I don't really remember the conversation because I was like 12, but I remember like they're talking about punches, like who was gonna hit what, and like kind of the sequence of moves that was gonna happen. But I didn't hear like.
I actually would love to hear how they go over it.
I would
actually love to hear it.
From what I remember, it was basically like, okay, I'm gonna whip you to the rope. You're gonna do like a drop kick or whatever.
So it's like sequence of sequence.
What they were talking about, from what I remember.
I would love to sing those production meetings, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind taking those minutes. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have like an internship kind of thing. Like, become a production writer, come into the meetings. They probably do, actually.
Yeah, they have an office down in Brickell.
They do have an office.
They do?
They do, yeah.
What?
It's a sales office though. Sales into Latin America. It's not like something,
I mean,
but they have an office. They have an office down in
If you
Brickell.
want to actually go in that route.
Yeah.
I did tell you TNA was hiring for writers. I don't know anymore, but they were.
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean,
they can hire anybody for writers.
They would hire anybody for writers.
Yeah.
That's probably where Carmen and Linda are.
Right.
Yeah, Carmen and Linda. Yeah, and Cha Cha Banks.
And Cha-Cha Banks.
Yeah, Cha Cha.
I was telling Grant, TNA is the real Undertaker. It stays forever. It will never die.
No, it really won't.
It really won't.
They've been going for, I think, 14 years now, which is actually impressive given everything that they've done.
Yeah.
How's Lucha Underground doing, by the way?
They're in season 3 right now. No, they finished up. Okay, they're halfway in season 3. They took a mid-season break, which is kind of like what we're going to be doing in May, kind of, and they're coming back in May with the rest of the season.
I would say
it's kind of been the weakest out of the 3 seasons.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion.
I think
it's
the
not
first
bad,
season
but
was great.
the first season's the best one. Second one was solid. Third one's kind of been,
I would say that kayfabe.
There's a lot of questions in there.
The kayfabe in that show is unreal. It's out of this world.
It's not what are you talking about? It's their premise is it's a movie about wrestlers.
Yeah.
It's not a wrestling show with wrestlers. It's a movie because it's like dragons and like people dying and snapping necks and stuff. Like it's not supposed to be treated as a real sport as compared to like WWE and all that stuff.
Right.
It's treated as a insane movie.
Insane movie, yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's really
But I mean, it's great. It's not bad.
How about I've seen episodes of it.
Yeah. I've watched every episode because I actually have the channel. But the third season's been the weakest so far. I don't know how the rest of it's gonna go. Maybe it'll be really good, but so far it's been kind of. But I've been watching Lucha. I've been watching a little bit of Ring of Honor. I watched New Japan stuff. I watched Wrestle Kingdom and all that. No, it's been good. It's just a lot of wrestling. Too much wrestling.
Too much. You gotta give a balance.
Yeah, and I have the indie people I watch too, and friends of mine that are in business. So.
There's always something to talk about with wrestling. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's always it's a nonstop. It never ends.
It really
never ends.
It really doesn't.
It's not like, oh yeah, it's the off season, so it's just quiet. Like you have in other leagues, NBA, NFL, but like in WWE,
there is no off season.
There is no off season.
There is no.
Not even WWE. In most wrestling promotions, unless you're maybe an independent fed, there's no off season. You're working 24/7. You are. I guess without taking out the athletic part of it and the physical content, wrestling is basically a heightened form of improv.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're characters and you're portraying characters and you're put in situations and you have to react to it. And most of the time, you're not in a scripted environment. It's very unscripted, except for like the major companies like WWE and all that.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it is, from my perspective. But it's also, obviously, there's the physical content. And there's that acrobatics and wrestling and everything.
Yeah, I mean ESPN covers WWE now,
which is crazy.
Which I never expected that would happen.
Yeah, thanks to Coachman, but thanks to John.
Because there was always this like battle between, is it really, is it really a sport category? Is it really an entertainment category?
Put it this way, ESPN stands for Entertainment Sports Programming Network, and WWE is Sports Entertainment. It fits the criteria.
Listen, no, I think it fits the criteria too, because anybody who watches wrestling, it's so clear and apparent. I don't know why people say.
I mean, let's put it this way: ESPN broadcasts the cheerleading competition, the hot dog eating competition, and the World Series of Poker. And that is not. I think WWE is more of a sport than all those three things I just mentioned.
Have you seen the hot dog eating competition? Hold on a minute. That's pretty intense.
It's intense. It's intense, but it is not a sport.
Don't say that. The hot dog people are gonna kick your butt if you say that.
Hot dog eating contest is not a sport. Come at me.
You could never do that. You could. There's no way.
Well, first off, you can't have it because you don't eat meat to begin with, so you're automatically disqualified.
Well, I eat meat, but it's different. Okay.
Whatever, but you can't eat like 20 hot dogs and get your mind out of the gutter. 20 hot dogs there, and we are a podcast. We are legitimate. Anywho, if you eat like 20 hot dogs here, your body's not gonna be able to handle it. They train they have an off
train for a hot dog eating
competition. The record, Hamza. The record is 60,
which was set by, I forgot something. I was watching SportsCenter today, and Mac mentioned his name. What was the guy's name?
What? We are pissing off the entire hot dog eating community here.
Time out. Okay.
Time out.
You need to, this year, on July 4th, you sit your little booty in front of the TV and you watch it. It's intense, man. They have to eat how much time do they have? 10 minutes,
I think. Yeah.
Something like that. They have to eat, whoever wins the most hot dog, or whoever eats the most hot dogs is the winner. And the same guy has won it consistently for, I don't know, the last 6-7 years.
That's his guy. I'm forgetting the guy's name.
I think it was Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
The
one and only Joey Chestnut.
Right.
Yes.
Is it? And he's a skinny dude.
He's a skinny
dude. This is all year round. They do international competitions. They do worldwide. Yes.
They have
national competitions, international competitions. They do different. There's different categories. So there's hot dog eating contest. There's whatever, pie eating contest. Whatever. I don't know.
They actually train.
Chicken wing eating contest.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have.
What
does your stomachs?
The training entail though?
Eating a ton of food and getting your body situated to where you can consume all the meat and the carbs at one period at a time without killing yourself. So killing the internal organs.
But getting your body used to that type of impact when you're actually doing that eating contest.
And a lot of them are really fit because they have to do exercise so they can burn their metabolism, so they can burn everything faster. Yep. You can't just be a fat guy eating this and consistently eat it because your body's not going to get used to it. It's going to stay as fat. Yeah. No offense to any fat people over here. Just using this as an example. So yeah,
that's your homework for this year.
Yeah, that's your homework
this year. To watch the hot dog eating contest.
Okay. Yes, that is your homework. You have to do it, and it's done.
Yes. Okay.
I will follow up on that one.
You have to.
But third thing I said, the World Series of Poker is, it's hard. Come on, we can all agree on that, can't we? Before y'all kill me.
I mean,
I
never watched it. I never watched poker, so I can't say how it is. I'm assuming it takes a lot. I mean, all of
it takes skill.
It takes skill. It takes bluffing, poker faces, all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know physical regimen. I don't know, but I know
there's no physical regimen to playing poker.
It goes from the point of like, okay, to become good at something, you know, you need some type of skill. You need to train for it. You need to become proficient in that. But what's the cutoff between just sports and then entertainment and other stuff?
It's tough. It's a tough.
That's a tough thing, and I think we always talk about whether wrestling is real or not. What's the cutoff between sports and entertainment?
I think wrestling is so much sport intensive because there's so much athleticism and there's so much training that goes with it, just like a sport. Yeah. And it really is like body intensive. Like their body is the weapon but like what they're using to create this match, right?
Sure.
So
more psychological.
What do you mean?
What?
Sports psychology.
Sports psychology. What do you mean?
No.
It's more getting like sports psychology, getting the crowd more into it. That's what it's all about.
Sports psychology?
Yeah.
You need to explain this. What?
Sports psychology, getting the crowd into it. I mean,
but she's not talking about psychology.
What do you mean? What do you mean getting the crowd into it?
Meaning you just talked about putting on a match,
right,
and getting the crowd behind you, right?
Right. Wait, no.
right? Yes.
Well, I was talking about the fact that they have to train their physical. They have to be in like top training condition in order for their body to handle the impact that they're having when they're wrestling.
Right. And a lot of the superstars came from a sports background, whether it be gymnastics or football
or amateur wrestling.
You know, so their bodies are already fit for it. So obviously, you know my opinion because I've actually trained in a wrestling ring. I'm going to tell you 100%. It's a damn sport because
it is a sport.
You're training as an athlete. You have to eat like an athlete, and you have to do all of these transitions and moves like an athlete. If you're not in the peak performance or shape to do it, you're going to hurt yourself or hurt other people.
And that's just the athletic part. Let's not get to the entertainment part.
It's even more because you actually have to talk in front of large crowds and be an actor.
That's where I was talking about sports psychology coming because you got to work the crowd.
Oh, okay.
What that is.
But I don't understand. Okay, but I don't understand. Maybe I'm not getting it right because sports psychology. Okay, so the sports psychology aspect itself is getting the fans to like follow.
Yeah.
That's what the actual concept is. Okay. I was confused.
Basically, knowing how to work a crowd.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that goes with anything though. Nobody wants to see a crappy player or a crappy team. Like, why am I wasting my time? I want to see somebody who's actually going to put on a show. And somebody
but you see, put on a show and you're watching sports, right? And then fans are like, "Oh, wrestling is not this." But you're going to pay to watch a show if you're watching a baseball game or a football game or a hockey game. Yeah. You're here to watch. You're watching technically a show. So
you can never win those debates with those people.
Yeah.
No.
Never.
But I think the difference is, and I think what people have what annoys them so much about the distinction between, like, let's say basketball or baseball versus WWE or professional wrestling, is that when you're going to a baseball game, they're playing the sport, but you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Like, you don't know.
Right.
Anything could happen. Anything could possibly happen. And if you've never seen a sport, you need to get your life together because they're just as entertaining as any TV show. Because you really don't know what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The ultimate underdog could take it all and win, and it's just that's life. Like, it just happens. But with wrestling,
sounds like a storyline.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing, though. It sounds like a storyline, but nobody wrote it. Like, it just happened. It naturally happened in the world.
Yeah. For instance, like the Cubs haven't won in 180 years.
Exactly, like the Cubs winning the World Series. Nobody was expecting that. I mean,
except one guy in the yearbook.
That
guy. He called it perfectly and Back to the Future.
Well, they called it like a year.
A year later.
It still counts.
But it still counts.
But that's the distinction because in WWE they just look at but they already know what's going to happen. So how is that a sport? You know, and that's what.
But not really though, because the difference between, I think, if you're talking from a story perspective, with sport, obviously it's unpredictable. You don't know who's going to win or whatever. Right. WWE is the same thing. It's just that someone's writing it, so one person knows or a group of people know. Not the fans, not the viewers.
I mean, I think
we guess and predict, but we don't, We've
been watching it for so long, so we kind of like know how it's gonna play out.
That's the thing.
We kind of expected how it's gonna play out. But if you're just a newbie watching it, it's a predetermined outcome, but you don't know the outcome.
And it's pretty impressive. See, I've been watching wrestling. It's almost 20 years. I'm gonna say a solid 20 years of my life I've been watching wrestling, and what amazes me about it is that there are still, there's some times where I'm like, okay, I think I know what's going to happen. But there really are moments where I couldn't anticipate
Yeah.
the outcome. Like I
Absolutely.
really couldn't
We've all had
anticipate
those moments where like, okay, I did not see that coming at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it still happens to me now, where sometimes I'm just like, wow, where did that come
Yeah.
from?
And that's
And
one of the
nobody
reasons why we
expected it.
still watch it.
Yeah,
exactly.
because it has a way of just maintaining. If you are a consistent fan like we have been for most of our lives, it has a way of just keeping you in and invested, not only in the characters but the storyline, right? And that's why that's why I think I love the brand split now, because now there's more time for the storyline to develop. As before, I just felt like in a month you had to fit in everything, and then next month it's new, blah blah blah.
And SmackDown actually matters now
Yeah,
compared to
it
what it
really-
did before. It did not
does.
matter at
It
all
really
before.
and I'm happy about that, because SmackDown, for a long time, it was actually my favorite brand.
It was. I think SmackDown
Yeah.
overdid Raw in ratings at the original brand.
I mean, I loved both because I would watch them both.
Yeah.
But there was a period in time where I loved SmackDown so much, like that was like my brand, right?
Yeah.
I still love SmackDown. I think I really do like it, because I feel like Raw really is. I mean, it's just
It's
as
still the
physical.
main show, though.
Yeah, it's the main show,
Yeah.
and it's just as like sports intensive as it is as SmackDown. But I just feel like Raw has a little bit more entertainment. Like I feel like it's a little more leaning towards the entertainment side, while SmackDown is leaning towards
More technical wrestling.
more
side.
technical wrestling.
Raw is more mainstream.
Not always,
Yeah.
because when Cesaro gets in the ring on Raw, Cesaro and Sheamus, they're both. It's like technical.
Yeah, on Raw
Which I
you
love.
have they always have the mainstream. They target the mainstream audience way more.
Yeah.
Raw's always been the more broader appealed show.
Yeah.
It's for Raw is, I think, more designed for people that are getting into wrestling.
Casual.
Casual, you know what
fans.
I mean?
I think casual fans just keep up with Raw. They don't watch anything else.
A lot of
And the
people do.
pay-per-view,
They'll just watch. I think now maybe they're watching both Raw and SmackDown, but
Yeah.
before the split even happened, it was just all
It
Raw.
was all Raw. Yeah.
Even me, I wasn't watching SmackDown before the split.
Like,
I just,
I think even nowadays, whenever they have like a guest star or a guest host, it's always on Raw.
If
No,
they-
they had Gabriel Iglesias. He did SmackDown.
He did SmackDown?
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing SmackDown now too.
Oh, the
Fluffy.
comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's look at who's been on Raw already. Kevin Hart's been on Raw.
He's been on Raw.
Kevin Hart's been on Raw. Shaq's been on Raw. He was hosting.
Shaq
that.
was in Royal Rumble too a couple years ago.
Yeah, he was at
He was in the Rumble. What are you talking
He
about?
was in the Raw. Yes, he was.
No,
he was at the
WrestleMania.
Battle Royale. That was the Battle Royale. That's WrestleMania.
Yeah, you guys are right. Dang
And
it.
he'll be facing Big Show in this WrestleMania, right?
Hopefully, we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. That's okay. Shaq, go home.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Shaq, go home.
I met Shaq. He's a really nice guy.
You've met him?
Shaq is cool.
He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He's really tall.
Yeah.
Like he's like, cause I met him when I was a kid. So he, like,
The amount of
you
stars,
can't
right?
see the room that we're in, but basically he would hit his head on the
He won't fit in
like
this
the
room.
lamp post, whatever here.
He won't fit in this room.
He probably won't actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too small for him.
Like his
But, like,
house,
he was-
those type of houses. He had Ronnie Cycle's old house in Starland, and
Yeah,
and
I've been
those
to the.
ceilings need to be tall enough. The showers need to be specific.
He had a custom house. I was in
Yeah.
Star Island. That's how I met him, and I went to inside a little bit of his house, and like it's custom.
Did you also mistakenly break into his house?
No. Actually,
He didn't
How-
mistakenly break into his house.
How
No,
did
I
you-
did not
how
miss.
did you-
No, actually, it's the other way around. He mistakenly broke into the house that we were in.
Wait, what? Star Island.
No,
Like-
it was I don't want to get personal, but it was a party when we were younger, and we were meeting a friend of ours, and they lived in Star Island. I'm not gonna name the name, but he lived next door to Shaq, and then Shaq just showed up at the end of the party, and I was like, oh, "It's Shaq!" Oh my god! Because remember, I'm like 10 years old.
This is
whatever.
what this is.
And, like,
2006, 2007.
Was it Eric?
This is when he was down with Miami Heat, so I think it was 2007.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is when he was down at the Heat, and I met him, and like my height was to his like stomach, so that was there. We took a picture, myself and my father, and
Oh, that's
he's a really
cool.
nice guy. He really is. He's a
Hey.
very nice guy.
Oh, good for him. Good job,
That's awesome.
Shaq.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shaq.
We're gonna take a picture with Raph. With
Awesome.
baby Raph.
I gotta find it's somewhere in my house.
Yeah, find it somewhere.
Whatever's left in my house, and
Yeah.
like I have a picture of it. So I've met him, and then I do. Obviously, I don't remember because this is when I was like a baby. But my mom met The Rock, and I was with my mom, but I was a baby, so I don't know.
Where'd you meet him?
Restaurant. I'm not gonna name the restaurant. It's privacy, but
Mhm.
yeah. I'll tell you the story after we're done here.
Okay.
Sorry, fans. Can't
I'm
tell you.
Cesaro at Access, so I think we all seen that, right? The
Yeah.
bill was signed.
Oh, you're going to Mania though.
Me? This year?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no.
No, it's not.
Oh, he went last year.
I know you
Well,
went
last
last year. I thought you were going to try to do it again this
Yeah, I
year.
tried doing it, then things didn't work out.
Okay. So I was gonna say I could give you the belt. Well, whoever has the champ can give you the belt,
Yeah.
and we can try to get another wrestler sign in.
Who have I met? I've met Lita. I've met Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, that's
Miz,
right. You met the
You met Alberto Del Rio?
Alberto Del Rio, The Miz, and Kane.
Oh, that's when Mania was down here in South Florida. Right?
Yeah. And I went to WrestleMania Access, and I got to meet all of them.
Miami Beach Convention Center?
Yeah.
No.
I hope they come back here again. They probably will.
They'll
But
probably-
Eventually, they will, I'm sure.
eventually, we'll go on
Eventually,
that
we will,
trip.
because we have a newly renovated stadium.
Eventually, when we're older and like we're all separate apart, we'll come together for this giant WrestleMania show.
It'll be a reunion.
It'll be a reunion.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're almost on time, so I'm trying to think who I met real quick. I met Stevie Richards. I met the Headbangers. Who else did I meet?
I met Jimmy Hart.
That's what you met.
Did
Jimmy
you?
Hart,
Yeah. It
Where?
was a local show down in Miami. They had like, the Legends wrestling shows
Yeah.
that they do.
Yeah.
So I was like basically like near ringside or close to ringside.
Yeah.
And he was just walking down the ramp, and I just took a picture with him out of the way. Jimmy Hart, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
I talked to Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
That's right. Tell me about him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You
He's
did.
really nice.
That's good.
Like, he's a really cool person. Just having a conversation with him was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a really nice person.
I technically met Carlito and John Morrison, but
Technically. And Molina as well.
and Melina.
And
Yeah,
Melina.
technically.
Where did Molina go, by the way?
I
You know,
don't know.
Released? Okay.
he's hanging out.
She's hanging out.
I don't know if she's still full-time wrestling or if she's doing appearances. I don't know. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's yeah.
That's it?
I mean, do you want anything else to say? Because we're on time. It's almost 5.
Mm-hmm.
Botches. I don't know.
Botches, yeah, botches. I botched Carmen. I got confused with Carmen.
Where's Carmen Santiago?
And what else?
And
What
where's
else?
Waldo?
What else did I botch? Oh, yeah, and my homework is to watch the hot dog eating contest.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay, so this is
So we'll follow up on this.
episode recap. Carmen is still missing.
yes,
The hot dog eating contest, you must watch it, July 4th.
Well, you guys watched it. I need to watch it. You guys
Yeah.
we've seen it. You need to watch
You
it.
need to watch it, but I'm gonna watch it this year again.
Mhm.
And
We
keep
could.
keep watching wrestling people because they're really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a serious conversation. We talked about the psychology and like the business side of wrestling.
I don't know
and
how I
also-
brought in psychology. It was just.
We don't know how you brought it.
That's another thing. We
Yeah.
don't know how Hamza
I'm
brought
still trying to
psychology.
figure it
Yeah.
out because I was talking about them wrestling. You were like psychology. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean psychology?
There's so many things come out of my mouth when we're talking about wrestling. It's just everything. You know?
A lot of things come out of your mouth, huh?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I can't tell the story. I can't tell. No, I can't say it.
You can say all fair, yeah.
I'll say it off air.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll tell you something.
Okay,
after.
tell me, yeah,
Yeah,
tell me the story.
but yeah, with that, this has been our live February episode of the Wrestling Jersey podcast. We will be back sometime in March to talk more random wrestling topics, or maybe we might have a topic. I don't know yet.
Never know.
You never know. You never know. And then we'll do one more in March, one more in April, and then hopefully we'll figure out plans for the next season and just kind of wrap up and see what we need to do. So thank you for following us and listening to us, and we'll be back next month.
See you later.
Bye. Botch.
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 Carmen.
Hot dogs.